So today's practical will be ESR, okay? What is the full form of ESR? Electrocyte sedimentation rate, right? Okay, first of all, there is a good news. They are planning to give one lift for students, okay? The discussions are going on. There is a possibility, okay? They are working on it. How to yes, kids. You can use lift. There is an approval. Will come soon, okay? Not yet approved, but it's under process. So yes, it will done. It will be done. Don't worry. Yes, Maucho. You don't want lift. You want exercise. It will happen. That is not now. Okay. Got it. So coming to the ESR, what is the significance of ESR? Significance of ESR to detect what? Infection. Infection can be detected in microbiology. Inflammation. To detect the inflammation in the body, right? That is the significance of ESR. Okay. So right now the aim. What will be the aim of this experiment? To estimate the ESR right now in a given sample. To estimate the ESR in a given sample. To estimate the ESR in a given sample by Western Green's method. By Western Green's method. To estimate the ESR, that is electrocyte segmentation rate, is a given sample by Western Green's method. Okay. I don't know why you put it in the dark. Okay. Sorry. I think some height issues. Anyway, when I going to estimate the ESR, right? Fine. So principle. Okay, method. Write down the method. Method will be Western Green's method. After aim, write the method. Aim and method. Okay. Now, principle. So what happens? Can anyone say the principle? You will take a vertical tube. You will fill it with blood, okay? With blood, and you will wait for 1 hour. Okay. Within 1 hour, blood will start sedimenting, and you will measure how much it sedimented. That will be the ESR. Okay. Right now. So principle is when well mixed anticoagulant blood, when well mixed anticoagulant. Anyway, write down again. No issues. I will spend 3 hours.
Sir, can I proceed with 4 to 12? 4 to 12.
First thing to listen this one, okay?
Sir, we have done 5 minutes.
Yes, I know you have written, but you just listen, okay? You will confirm, okay? It takes only half an hour to finish, okay? Anyway, principle is very simple. There is a vertical tube. In that vertical tube, you will take blood and it will sediment. And after 1 hour, how much it is sedimented, that will be the ESR value. Okay? Now, there are some interesting things you need to know. What type of anticoagulant we are using? Type of anticoagulant that we are using in ESR. Okay? Keep in mind for ESR, we are using citrated anticoagulant. Write down. So there are two methods of ESR. Winthrop's method and Western Green's method. Okay. In case of Western Green's method, the anticoagulant of choice is trisodium citrate, 3.8 grams per deciliter is used. Okay. And the ratio of this anticoagulant is 1:4. Okay. In case of Western Green's method. Whereas in Wintrop's method, the ideal anticoagulant is oxalated. Oxalated, EDTA, oxalated anticoagulant. Oxalated anticoagulant. For example, double oxalate you can take, and the ratio is 3:2. Okay, ratio is 3:2. Now, during the sedimentation process, red blood cell undergo 3 phases. There are 3 phases during sedimentation. Those are yes. So methods are 2 types: Wintrop's and Westerling's. In Westerling's we are using trisodium citrate, whereas in Wintrop's we are using oxalate. And ratios are 1:4 and 3:2. Okay. In this lab you will perform this by a disposable method. Okay. We have a disposable plastic ESR tube. Directly you will perform and you will discard. Okay. Yeah. Next, what else we need? Phases of ESR. So there are 3 phases in this. First one is cells will listen. Red blood cells has a tendency. Okay. How to tell this one? If there are a bunch of magnets, if we collect those magnets, what happens? They will struck each other, right? Similarly, this shape of RBC will have, yes, sir. Gaurav? Yes, listen. RBCs will interlock upon interacting each other. Okay. That interlocking of RBCs is called as Rolex formation. ROUALEX, Rolex formation. No, they won't spell X actually. Rolex formation. Yes, okay. So Rolex formation means they will form a pile of cylinders like this. RBCs will form pile of cylinders like this. Okay. That is called Rolex formation. After Rolex formation, now these piles will start sedimenting. That will be the second phase. That is called phase of settling. They will start settling in the tube. Okay. Phase of Rolex formation and phase of settling. And third phase will be phase of packing. Phase of packing. Okay. They will pack at the bottom of the tube. That is called phase of packing. Okay. So these are the 3 phases. So maybe each phase will be around 25 minutes in 1 hour. Okay, around. So why we are measuring these things? Because you cannot disturb during these 3 phases, first 2 phases. If you disturb the tube, you will get a error results. Okay, so the tube should be at ideal place and there should not be any vibrations. Okay, yeah. And what else we need in this test? Write down the normal values, very important. Normal values in Westerling's method and Wintrop's method. So first Westerling's method normal value, males and females. Males is 3 to 5 mm per hour, millimeters per hour, whereas females 4 to 7 millimeters per hour. Whereas in Wintrop's method, in males it is 0 to 7 millimeter per hour, and in females that is 15 to 0 to 15 millimeter per hour. Okay. Today we are doing Westerling's method, so the normal values will be this. Yes.
Is that both phases are same, like the sediment and the packing phase? Because in both phases they sediment.
No, in settling they are in gel. In packing they already height. Very simple. Volume of cell. Volume and number of cells. Comparatively, when compared with males, the number of cells in females will be less.
But sir, actually तो female के अंदर कम होते हैं.
Actually will be less in females. Yes, less red blood cells, less okay, you are confused with the high value, right? Okay, listen, I got the point. That's a nice observation. I don't know why it's detecting you rather me. Actually, it's identifying your face. Yeah. Okay. What I'm saying now. Listen very carefully. There are two rods or two vertical tubes. Okay. I'm going to measure how much they segmented. Okay. Here I have 100 stones and here I have 50 stones. Okay. So 50 stones, what happens? Only up to here they will pack. Whereas in 100 stones they might pack up to here. Now the value has taken, the leftover gap is the value. The leftover gap is the ESR value. The leftover gap will be the ESR value. Obviously, by this statement, women have less cells, so less packing, more ESR value. Males, more cells, more packing, less ESR value. Got it? Simple. Number of cells and the volume of blood. Okay, males and females. This will be the female and this will be the male. Clear that? ESR value will be taken from the leftover gap in Westerling's method. Keep in mind. In Westerling's method, ESR value will be taken from leftover gap. Whereas in Winthrop's, it is vice versa. That's why you have 0 to 7 and 0 to 15 value. Okay, that we'll see later. Okay. So first you just remember the Westerling's method. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So you will take a cigarette blood, take a venous blood in a test tube and keep the ESR tube in it and it will start the test tube initiated. With the test method after memory treatment. Okay. Now tell me the clinical significance of ESR. What is the clinical significance? Tell me students. Write down the clinical significance, everyone. Clinical significance of ESR. It is a non-specific test. It is a non-specific test used for. It is a non-specific test used for detection of either inflammation or infection in the patient body. In the patient, not frequent body, okay? In the patient. Okay? Inflammation or infection. In these two cases, ESR value will be increased. But keep in mind, it is a non-specific test. Why is it non-specific? It cannot give a particular reason of what this is. Inflammation can occur in many conditions, so that's why it is a non-specific test. Okay, a preliminary non-specific test. Write down diagnostic uses of ESR. Diagnostic uses of ESR. Diagnostic uses of ESR. One, to diagnose rheumatoid arthritis. To diagnose rheumatoid arthritis. Now, John, there some urine has been spilled in that area. Now sleep on the bench. Yeah. Okay. Right on. First one. To diagnose rheumatoid arthritis. To diagnose chronic infections such as tuberculosis. To diagnose chronic infections such as tuberculosis. Rheumatoid arthritis. RA. Rheumatoid arthritis. Second one, to diagnose chronic infections such as tuberculosis, TB. Third one, to diagnose collagen disorders diagnose collagen disorders, to diagnose collagen disorders, to diagnose, next point, to diagnose multiple myeloma within a bracket, blood cancer. Multiple myeloma, that is blood cancer. Myelocytes, myeloproliferative, hematopoiesis. Okay. Multiple myeloma, blood cancer. And fifth one, to diagnose macroglobulin anemia. To diagnose macroglobulin anemia. Macroglobulin anemia. To diagnose macroglobulin anemia. Okay. Next one. Next slide heading. ESR can also be used for monitoring prognosis of disease. Do you remember the word of the word prognosis?
What, sir?
Prognosis means what?
Prognosis to start your
To evaluate the curing process.
to start the initiating of cure.
To evaluate the treatment. Okay, similar. Okay. No worry. Anyway, write down. To see the response of treatment of tuberculosis, temporal arthritis. I don't know what is temporal arthritis. Write down tuberculosis, temporal arthritis, Hodgkin's disease. Hodgkin's disease is an autoimmune disorder. Within the bracket, it's an autoimmune disorder. Okay? It's an autoimmune disorder. Okay? So, write down few more points. It can also be used for, okay, some interesting points. You try to answer them. If a patient has polycythemia, that means more red blood cells, what will be the value of ESR? Less value. Okay? If the patient has anemia, what will be the ESR value? More. Okay? ESR determines based on the viscosity of the blood, also the number of cells present in the blood. Okay? Then another interesting question. Who will have more ESR value, males or females? Reason? They have less RBCs. Okay. Yes, Mr. Avinash. I said right urine. Yeah. Next one. You're distracting me now. Listen. A patient has a chronic tuberculosis. What will be the value of ESR? A patient has a chronic tuberculosis infection in the lungs. What will be the ESR value? More or less? More. Try to understand my question. Patient has a chronic infection. What is the ESR value? Listen now. Chronic infection results in more antibodies. More antibodies will make the plasma more viscous. More viscous, less sediment, resulting in more ESR value. Elevated ESR value indicates inflammation. Got my point? Elevated ESR value indicates an inflammation. I think only few people are understanding the concept. Do you understand, Ms. Diksha? Right? Can you explain me in Hindi?
Sir.
Are you Diksha? Wait, let her finish. Then I will come back to you. Yes, Ms. Diksha. Yes, Abhilash. Are you Diksha? Take part. Yes.
Sir.
Less ESR, high inflammation. Exactly. Inflammation is directly proportional to higher ESR value. So if there is inflammation, ESR value will be high. Less sedimentation. High viscosity, less sedimentation, more ESR value. Yes, Shubham, you tell me.
Yes, sir.
What you want to say? Same.
No, sir.
Yes.
So the amount of RBCs are inversely proportional to ESR value.
Not only amount of RBCs,
And sir, the
viscosity also. Viscosity is directly proportional to ESR value. The higher the viscosity, the higher the ESR value. And it is inversely proportional to RBC count. The lesser the RBC,
No, sir.
directly proportional to RBC also. Less RBC, more ESR. Okay? Okay, just keep in mind from the point of view of viscosity, not cells. Okay? That is the ideal approach. Okay. Then can ESR diagnose cancer? If ESR value is high, can it be a cause of cancer? No. Leukemia? Listen, there is a kind of leukemia called B-cell leukemia where there will be more antibodies, abnormal antibodies. So in cancer, especially in blood cancer, ESR value will be high. Okay? So ESR can be used for diagnosing of cancers, tuberculosis, chronic infections, autoimmune disorders such as Hodgkin's disease, rheumatoid arthritis, macroglobulin anemia, all these things can be detected by ESR. Okay? And what anticoagulant you will use for Westerling's method? Citrate. Okay, citrated anticoagulant. Whereas for Winthrop, you will use oxalates. And I want to tell one more small thing. The difference between Winthrop's tube and Westerling's tube. Westerling's tube is 30 centimeters long and both the ends are open. Whereas Winthrop's is 50 centimeters long. Okay, and one side is closed. Now, Winthrop's tube can also be used for PCV and ESR. You can perform both ESR and PCV in Winthrop's, whereas in Westerling's it is only purely ESR. Okay, and the graduations 0 to 200, this will be 0 to some volting. The values are very. Okay, Winthrop's tube and Westerling's tube. Okay, so which tube is lengthy, Winthrop's or Westerling's? Westerling's tube is 30 centimeters, it's a lengthy tube. Okay, and which tube has one side closed? Which one? Winthrop's tube. Got it? So this is all about ESR, and now we will perform ESR. Shubham, bring ESR tubes from the lab. Ask ma'am, she will give you. You want to go with you? Yes, you can go. No?